17-year-old Alara Miles wasn't like the other kids at Greymist High. While others scrolled through their phones, she wandered secondhand bookstores. While they texted memes, she devoured ancient tomes about time, memory, and forgotten places. Her favorite haunt was a dusty little shop called Ink Oddities, tucked between a bakery and a pawn shop no one ever entered. One rainy afternoon, as thunder grumbled like a bored god, she found a book she couldn't read. It had no title, no author, no words, just blank pages. And when she opened it, she heard a whisper. One who sees has found the door. That night, the book wouldn't stop humming. Yes, humming. Softly, like a lullaby made of candlelight and secrets. At midnight, Alara returned to Ink Oddities. The shop was locked, but the book glowed faintly, and the shelves began to shift on their own. One shelf marked "Forgotten Work" creaked backward, revealing a spiral staircase behind it. Alara should have been terrified. Instead, she smiled. She'd always known the world held more than people admitted, so she stepped down the stairs into the library of invisible books. It was massive, rows upon rows of books floating, glowing, chained, whispering. There were stairs that led to nowhere, and ladders that moved on their own. At the center stood a desk, and behind it, a man in a deep blue coat made of stitched-together paper. "Welcome, Alara," he said. "You know my name?" He nodded. "I am the librarian. I remember everyone who finds us." She looked around. "What is this place?" He smiled. "A library that holds the unread stories of the world, books that were never written, memories that were erased, thoughts never spoken." Alara's fingers tingled with curiosity. She reached for a glowing book, but the librarian stopped her. "There are rules." He handed her a card etched with flame. "Rules of the Library of Invisible Books. Take only the book that calls your name. Do not open a book twice. Never read a book aloud. Most importantly, do not steal a title." "What does that last one mean?" she asked. He didn't answer. She walked the aisles until she found it. A small violet book floating midair. It whispered, "Alara Miles, the day you forgot yourself." She touched it, and it unfolded like a flower. Inside were scenes of her childhood own she barely remembered. A song her mother sang, a story her dad once wrote for her. Her first nightmare, her first dream. Tears slipped down her cheeks. It was her story, but not just memories, moments she'd lost. When the book closed, it vanished. On her third visit, she met someone else in the library. A boy, maybe 18, with a jacket that read, "Exist Gently," and a notebook made of black glass. "First time?" he asked. "No." "You?" he smirked. "Fourth. I'm Micah. I read people's regrets." They bonded over forbidden books and unsaid things. He showed her how to find emotion echo spaces that cried or laughed when touched. They sat in a corner where memories dripped from the ceiling like rain. Alara had never felt more understood. Then, she found it. A heavy red book. Black flames danced on its cover. She picked it up, and it said, "Alara Miles, the ending you chose." She frowned. She hadn't chosen any ending. The librarian appeared out of thin air. "That book is not for you." "But it has my name." "Some books are traps," he said. "Not every ending should be read." But later that night, curiosity won. She opened it. Inside were future memories. A college she hadn't chosen. A love she lost. A betrayal. A fall. And then, nothing. Blank pages. Her name burned. A whisper echoed, "Now that you've seen it, you've begun to live it." She dropped the book. It vanished into flame. The library dimmed. Micah found her shaking. "I broke a rule." He nodded grimly. "Then you'll have to write your own way out." The next day, the shelves turned cold. Books snapped shut as she passed. And then she saw him. A figure made of ink and regrettal, faceless. The shadow librarian. He was what remained of those who broke the last rule, stealing a title. "You've seen your ending," he whispered. "Now give me your title." "What title?" He grinned. "Your story, El Araran." She and Micah found a hidden chamber, the ink forge, a desk made of moonlight and sorrow, a quill of bone. There, you could write one line into your story. Just one. Micah wrote. "He never left." Alara asked him who. "My brother," he said. "I lost him when I was 12. Forgot his name, until I found it here." Now it was her turn. She stared at the page and wrote. Alara Miles was not done yet. The library trembled. Books flew. Shelves cracked. The shadow librarian shrieked, furious. But Alara wasn't afraid. She ran to the first book, the one that began the library itself. It was invisible to most, but she saw it now. She opened it and whispered, "This is my story. I will not be edited." The shadow dissolved into torn pages, and the library exhaled. Ilara returned to the surface. Ink, oddities was gone, but in her bag was a blank journal. And every day she writes in it not just stories, but truths. She reads people, finds their lost words, helps them remember, and sometimes, on stormy nights, she dreams of shelves in the sky, where a man in a blue paper coat smiles and says, "The girl who read too much became the girl who rewrote everything." Moral of the story: your life is a book still being written. Some chapters are painful, some magical, but never let anyone else write your title, because you are the author.